Hi there, welcome to Flourish Code Network. My name is Oluwaseun Ogini, and I want to appreciate you for watching this video today. Well, this morning I want to share with you on the subject of love and marriage. The Bible taught us that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. If the Bible will give us the recommendation about our neighbors, what do you think the Bible will say about the relationship that exists between a man and a woman, the husband and the wife? But the Bible expressly taught the husbands to love their wives as Christ loved the church. So inevitably we cannot remove the subject of love from the subject of marriage. If there is no love, then we can't have a marriage. If there is no love, we can have a relationship that is tuned towards marriage. Now, in our current age, there is a lot of misconceptions going on about the subject of love, because many people believe that love is about a feeling. You hear people say, I fell in love. You hear some other people say, I love it, love at first sight. But this is not what love really is. No wonder why you see couples that came together on the premise of love, fell in love with themselves, took themselves to the aisle, and before you know it, 6 months down the line, they are worst of enemies. What happened? The same person that confessed love for a lady now happened to pick the same lady as the worst enemy so far. There is a lot of misconceptions going on in town today about the subject of love. Love is not a feeling. Feelings are product of chemical reactions. Many people agreed to marriage on the premise of chemical reactions. Love is not chemical reactions. Love is different from attraction. Attraction is what many people settle with. Attraction is just someone that catches your fancy, that fits into the profile of what you define as acceptable when it comes to partnership, when it comes to spouses. Okay, so you grew up with the mindset of settling with a fair lady, slim-looking lady, successful lady, and once you see anybody that fits that profile, you are attracted to such a person. But attraction is not love. What sustains a marriage is not attraction, because that slim-looking lady will, in a matter of 1-2 years down the line, turn to the shape will be redefined. That successful guy, something might happen along the line and the money is no longer there. So what keeps a marriage going is not attraction. And that's why divorce today is on the eye, day by day. So what is love? If love is not emotion, what is love? Love is sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. Love is value that you ascribe to a thing. In fact, we know how much you love a thing by how much you are willing to pay for it. We know how much you appreciate an object by how much price you are willing to let go for it. So we define love by what you are willing to give per time. We are looking at how much you are willing to pay, how much shit you are ready and willing to take from that person. That's how we define love. So love is not feelings. Love is not the emotion. Love is not the attraction. Love is the sacrifice that you are willing to let go. David said to God, I won't give my God what will not cost me anything. How much cost are you ready to dispense for that person you say you love? That's how much love you have for that person. So love is not about the sex. Love is not about love is not about the feeling. No, it is much more than that. If God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, then you will from there begin to understand the subject of love. Love is not feelings. Love is sacrifice. God proved his love to the world by giving the most treasurable value, the most important aspect of himself he gave to the world. So if you say you love that person, if you say you love that man, if you are confessing your love for that lady, what are you willing to give? We know that you love your home. We know that you love your spouse by how much time you are able to give. how much funds you are able to release, how much sacrifice you are willing to make, how much acceptability you are willing to bring to the table, how much compromise are you willing to bring to the table. This is how we know that you love your spouse. Now, the Bible teaches us in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 13, from verse 4 to 7. That's the chapter of love that defines what love means in its true state. That's the original. We may be talking about love in different dimensions: eros, philia, storge, and agape. What is recommended for every marriage, for the survival of any marriage on earth, is the agape love. It's not just friendly love. It's not just parental love. It's not just infatuative love. We are talking about agape love. It is that kind of love that will forgive fornication. It is that kind of love that will forgive, that will look over a situation wherein the man can no longer provide. It is that kind of love that will not opt for divorce at every provocation. It is that love that will keep a marriage intact when even there are many offenses. What is love if it dies at every point of offense? So 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to 7 teaches us. It said, love endures long and is patient and kind. Love never is envious, nor boils over with jealousy. It is not boastful, neither is it vainglorious. Does not display itself haughtily. It is not arrogant or infatuated. It is not inflated with pride. It is not rude and does not act unbecomingly. Love does not insist on its own rights or on its own way, for it is not self-seeking. It is not touchy or fretful or resentful. It takes no account of evil done to it. It does not rejoice at injustice and unrighteousness, but rejoices when right and truth prevail. Love bears up under everything, and everything that comes is ready to believe the best of every person. Its hopes are faithless under all circumstances, and it endures everything. So you will see that in the description of love in the Bible, there is nothing like what you feel. It's not about seeing a fine girl. It's not about the broad shoulders. Love is more than that. And love is needed to keep a marriage going. So I will quickly pick some points from the description of the Bible. And number one, character of love as espoused in that place I just read, is that love endures for long. Love endures for long. Song of Solomon chapter 8 verse 7 says, many waters cannot quench the fire of love. Many waters cannot quench the fire. There is a lady that I used to know. I was there when she was planning her marriage. Everybody that advised her against that marriage, she fought, because she was so much in love with this guy. Even our pastor called her and said, what I see about this guy cannot be good for marriage. But she was determined, she was resolute to marry this guy. 1 year down the line, the marriage was over. What happened? The man was exhibiting the tendencies that was obvious for every other person to see before the marriage. But the moment the marriage started, the lady could not endure the weaknesses of the guy. There is this saying that love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. Love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. When her eye became opened, she could not handle the problem again. When her eye became open, she could not endure the challenges that she was facing. So they ended the marriage in less than 2 years. This was someone who was in love. The question now is, did she really love the guy, or was she married based on simple attraction? If it was love, it will endure for long. Love endures for long. Attraction fades away in just a little time. So you must begin to ask yourself, this person I'm married to, do I love him? do I love her? This person I want to settle with, that I'm planning my wedding with, do I love her? How long can I stay with her? How long can I take nonsense from him? How much can I take shit from her? Number 2, love is patient and kind. Remove patience and kindness from a relationship, that relationship is gone. Patience gives room. Patience gives a long rope. Patience allows your spouse to grow into the picture that you desire. So, the man that I'm married to does not know, it's not romantic. And unfortunately for him, he didn't grow up in a family that is romantic. He has not understood the concept of romance all his life, but now you are married. But you want him to change in 1 month. What he has not lived his life with for 30 years. You want him to learn it in a day, in 1 month. That will not work. Love encourages you to be patient, to give your spouse enough room to grow into the person you want. Love is kind. Kindness is providing for the need of your spouse before he demands it. That's what love drives you to do. So love is costly. Love is painful. Love is sacrifice. In fact, love is a provision for us. Love is not feeling. Love is not ignited by sight. Love is ignited by decision. Love is a product of deliberate action. Love is not a response to what you see. Love is a response to your decision. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is never envious. There's a lot of competition going on in many homes today. My husband is doing well. I must do well also. In fact, you see practical competition among couples. Practical competition. He's driving this car, I must drive that car too. If I'm not getting the kind of car she's driving, then I'm a failure. Love is not envious. The prescription of love is to prefer the next person. One thing that has kept my marriage going till date is I prefer for my wife to get the best of everything. So rather than settle myself first, I ensure that she's first okay. Just mention it. I want to see her happy. I want to give her the very best for the very first time. I want her to be the first at the table. I want her to be the first beneficiary of whatever it is that we have planned out. And that's what she does for me too. So imagine a marriage where the couple, where the man is always looking out for the woman, where the wife is always looking out for the husband. They are going to have a good marriage. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is never envious. Love is not vainglorious. Love is not arrogant. Love is not arrogant. There are men today who sponsor their wives through school. And every opportunity they have to talk about the past, they mention the fact that they sponsored their wives through school. And they say it anywhere and everywhere. Just for the whole world to know that the person that their wife has become is a product of their investment. Love is not arrogant. Some men are so egoistic that they cannot accept any comment, any contribution from their wives. This is not love. Love listens. Love, in fact, the Bible says, Ephesians 5, verse 20 down to 21, submit yourselves one to another. Anyone that cannot submit is proud and is not in love. That's not what love teaches us. Love is not arrogant. Love is not rude. Love is not rude. Some wives can abuse a dead man, and the dead man will rise up again. They can so talk, they can say anything, they don't need to think about abuse, but they will need to think before they pray. Rudeness, it is not a character of love. Rudeness, it's not some men will so. There is this story of a couple that I heard. Anytime, anywhere the man and the woman are, and there is a conversation going on, the man will outright tell his wife to keep short because she cannot give a good contribution to this conversation. The woman was, she was trying to cope with it. At a point, she could no longer take it. The marriage ended on the premise of rudeness of the man to the wife. He always embarrasses his wife publicly. He was so rude to the woman. That's not love. Love is not rude. Love does not insist on its own right. One of the easiest ways to end a marriage is to be selfish. The quickest way to end a relationship is to be selfish. Love is not selfish. Love does not insist on its own. Is my opinion, my idea. I am always right, you are always wrong. No, that's not what love teaches us. Love is not selfish. You will understand that love is an action word. Love is not a state of the mind. Love is action. It is a daily walk with your spouse. It's a daily walk that energizes every kind of relationship. Love is not selfish. Let me just quickly say this. Love does not take an account of evil done to it. Bible teaches us that love covers multitudes of sins. Love covers multitudes of sins. So any relationship wherein the man or the woman takes account of every sin that the spouse has committed, there is no love there. Some women will tell you, 5 years ago, this is what my man did. I've never forgotten. I've never recovered. You are not in love with your husband. So that's not love. But unfortunately, many marriages are going on today and they are just contractual relationships. They are not marriage at all. And that's why many marriages are in pain, are in tears. Many people are enduring marriage today because they are not in love with each other. They are just doing something that looks like love, but they are not in love with one another. But there is this something, there is this point, there is this thing that happens when a home is controlled by love. The Bible teaches us in the book of John chapter 14, verse 23, that if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. What is this command that Jesus was saying that if a man keeps? We see that in book of John chapter 15 verse 12. It said, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. How beautiful is it going to be for God to make your home his abode? When a home is filled with love, God will relocate from heaven and make his abode with that home. There are homes today that have God practically living with them. What brought God was love. It was Jesus that was talking here. He said, if you obey this commandment of love, myself and my Father will come and make our abode with you. Love brings God into your marriage. Love brings God into your marriage. Not feelings. Sex does not bring God to your marriage. Feelings cannot bring God to your marriage. But love does. He said, if you love one another as I have loved you, if you sacrifice, if you invest your time, if you invest value into your relationship, God will come and make his abode with you. Am I saying that love is just all about the patience, the endurance? Is it just all about the sacrifices? No, that's not all about love. Love also has the sensual dimension. If it is just about patience and endurance all of the years, then that marriage will be boring. Love also enables you, love also teaches you to be sensual with your wife. Be sensual with your husband. Create time for lovely moments. Moments that will never be forgotten. Love, because it is sacrifice. Because it is value. You give it everything needed. Everything needed per time. So when it is time to be patient, you are patient. When it is time to be romantic, even if you don't know romance, you learn it because you want to satisfy your spouse. Love is holistic. Love is total. Can a marriage survive without attraction? No. Can a marriage survive without romance? No. Can a marriage survive without patience? No, the agape love of God is holistic. It is holistic. So when we are talking about love and marriage, we are talking about a factor that cannot be independent of each other. They are dependent on one another. Love is required for every marriage to survive. So I want you to I want you to take a look at your family. I want you to take a look at your marriage. I want you to examine the relation between you and your spouse right now. Are you in love? Or you are just attracted? Are you in love with your spouse? Or you are just on a contract? Don't forget, it is only love that will make God to make his abode in your family. I pray for you today by the grace of God that as you examine your life, as you examine your life, your marriage in light of these words, may God find you. May you have clarity. May your marriage be better. And may the Lord bless you. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I pray that God will bless you. I pray that God will increase his grace on your marriage. You will never regret at any point in time. Thank you so much. God bless you.